Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. Today we'll be looking at a mass market Oracle deck called the Wild Mystic Oracle card set. So this is a 50 card deck and guidebook illustrated and written by Anastasia Catris. So these are what the sides look like. This gold foil on the name. It comes in this like two-part box in a box kind of thing. But I wanted to show you first the guidebook. So the guidebook for this is like a hardbound book. You can also put your name on the side. And it is printed by Peter Popper Press. Okay, so for the table of contents, if you'll take a look, you have introduction about the deck, attuning to your deck, keeping an oracle journal, working with the deck, then some divination, shadow reading, how to perform a reading, and some spreads. You have some meditation, spell work, and then you go into the card interpretations. Now, pay attention that these are all names of animals. That's going to be important later when we look through the cards. And then you have a note about the symbols, and then about the artist, the bibliography, and all that. So there's a lot of good information about this inside this guidebook. I really enjoy reading it. You also have some notes on for the reading, and for each card, you would get the name of the animal, the keyword, and then you have the meanings here, how you see it in a shadow reading, and then you have your correspondences. So it's a pretty well-written guidebook, and I enjoy guidebooks of this sort. I like the way it's written, so it's something that I enjoy. Oh, there's also gilding on the sides of the page, which is a great detail. So yeah, these are, this is basically what it looks like. And then let's go into the cards. So as I mentioned, it comes in a box within a box. It's a two-part box. It's very loose. So I'm not fond of this type of packaging. I probably will be keeping it this way in the future. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. It also comes with this cardboard insert, which isn't the best quality. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, here. Sorry. Forgot to show you. The guidebook is really great. I mean, I really love this guidebook. And it also says here, tap into the ancient wisdom of the animal kingdom by embracing your unlimited intuition. So let's put that to the side. All right, so let's take a closer look at the cards. They are glossy. It has a limited color palette. The card stock. Oh, sorry. What is happening? The card snaps back well enough, so I think it's pretty sturdy. It's not too thin, if you can see. There is gilding. It has this beautiful matte copper gilding at the side. And oh wait, this is probably my last card pull. These are the backs, and they are reversible. Now, it does have a limited color palette. It's not something that I am usually drawn to, but when I saw a flip through of this, I was really drawn to the book. And yeah, so that's why I decided to purchase it, because it seems like it's something that I can use with a lot of my decks, and it looks like there's a lot of good information in the guidebook. So let me zoom in and we can take a closer look at all of the cards. Okay, so here are the cards. So it is bordered. It has a limited color palette. You have the signs of the pentacles across all four corners. There is some design. I'm not sure why. This, I think it's a star. Like, I'm not sure why it's there. Initially, I thought it was dust, and I kept trying to take it out. But yeah, it's part of the print. And there's also, like, I'm not sure if you can see it, like this blurry detail at the bottom. Yeah, like that. And I don't know why. So it's like there's a star over there and this like haze, which I could have done without. it kind of takes me out of the image, sadly. Yeah. So the cards are bordered. It is, there is a keyword at the top, but you'll notice that the name of the animal is not on the card. And that is a little bit, that makes it a little bit of a challenge for me. Because I'm not great at animal identification, maybe because some of the animals are also not that familiar to me. For somebody living in the Philippines, some of the animals might not be existing or common here where I live. And like, I also don't have really good eyesight, so sometimes it's difficult for me. So here it took me a second to kind of figure out what this was. And it looks like it's two cats looking at each other. So, aside from the keyword, I do wish that the name of the animal was here. And it's not, and it's really because the way the art is drawn, it isn't that easy to tell. You know, it's not obvious. Or maybe, yeah, again, maybe it's really just my familiarity with some of the animals. But what I like about it is that the keywords are really good. I feel like there's a good balance of positive, light, and negative keywords. Like this one, fear, adaptation, and some are quite new. It's not something that I've seen a lot in other decks. So, well, trust is pretty common, but yeah. But yeah, the keywords are quite good in this deck, which is why I was drawn to it. Defend. But yeah, I mean, it really makes it. I've used this a couple of times, and there were some times when I picked a card that took me a while to get to the guidebook meaning of, because I wasn't sure what that animal was. So later on, I'll show you a sample. So, yeah, like this one, this particular one. Do you know what animal this is? Right off the bat, I mean, I was thinking swordfish or, you know, some kind of fish, but let me just take a pause and we'll go here, right? There is no entry for a swordfish in this guidebook. And I had to go page by page to figure out what this was. It turns out it is actually a narwhal. So I'll show you. So that is a narwhal. And I'm not familiar with that animal. But the guidebook meaning, once you read it, it's really good. It's really interesting to learn about this, but it takes a lot more time than if I were just to right off the bat know what that particular animal was. Let's say if it had a name aside from the keyword on the deck. But maybe that's just me. If you're familiar with these animals, you know, because I'm the type of reader that's drawn to animal and nature decks, but I'm really not connected to these archetypes at all. And maybe that's why I'm drawn to them, because I have to learn about them. But I am a city girl. I only see domesticated animals around. So maybe that's why. But yeah, so again, maybe it's a me thing and not really something that would bother or would be an issue for most people. But this deck is really quite special, I think, with because of how it is produced, with the really good guidebook, with the really good keywords. I mean, the art is also beautiful. It's just that I'm not always drawn to limited color palettes. but this one, it feels kind of like sophisticated. But then you have these things that are like my pet peeves. I feel like I want to rub off these things, these details. So I'm not sure if it's a printing thing, but you see it, right? And this one at the top. And now it's what I fixate on. And I know I'm sounding like I'm ranting and all this, but which I try not to, but I'm just sharing my thoughts about this. And I just wish it wasn't there, because it kind of takes me out of the art on the deck when I see it or when I focus on it, which I do. Okay, so let's, as we usually do, let's zoom out and see how this shuffles, and then we'll pick a card and read from the guidebook. All right, so riffle shuffling this deck is pretty good. Even though it's glossy, it seems to have a good mix. It riffle shuffles well. I don't have any issues with that. Okay, side or overhand shuffling surprisingly doesn't feel sticky. Okay, and then we will be reading for this one. Oh my god, thankfully I know what animal that is for memory. But yeah, so I just want to show you can overhand this just fine. And we will be reading for memory. And yeah, just again to show you, in the guidebook, you don't see memory on the table of contents. You actually see, or you have to find elephant. Now maybe what I would have wanted was just a keyword here, and you just name the animal in the guidebook. But yeah, anyway, let me zoom in and let us read the entry for elephant. Alright, so elephant with the keyword memory. The card represents our ancestors and those we remember who have passed on. Elephants have excellent memories and often recall different routes and terrain to survive drought. They are also one of the few species on Earth, other than ourselves, recorded to have funerals. They lay leaves and sticks over deceased elephants and stand watch over their bodies for days at a time. These intelligent and compassionate animals inspire reverence for the memory of those no longer with us. The card is a reminder that those gone are not forgotten, and to learn from those that we have lost. It is respect for elders and acceptance of wisdom. This card might also call you to look into your past or heal your mind and spirit. Past life regression, trauma, therapy, or shadow work might be necessary to combat old wounds and painful memories. You may be dealing with the grief of a loss through either death or absence. This card encourages you to take time to mourn and learn from your memories. Now for the shadow reading. The shadow of the elephant card is forgetfulness. While this can be seen negatively in terms of absent-mindedness, it can also indicate letting go of painful memories and not paying heed to that which does not serve us. Much like the light reading, which tells us to learn from the memories of loss, the shadow tells us to learn, but then discard the pain. And then you have your correspondences. For the element, it is earth and spirit. For the flora, forget-me-not, lilac, caraway, bergamot, and periwinkle. For the stones, you have black calcite, howlite, quartz, and wolfenite. And for the spell work, you have a Samhain ritual, easing the loss of a loved one, helping to train memory, guarding against memory loss, and past life regression. So there's a lot of good information in the book, and there's a lot of really good keywords, and the art is also something that can really trigger some intuitive hits for those who read intuitively. And yeah, I still like this deck. You know, I may seem, or I may sound like I have a lot to say about it, which I do, but overall I think it's still pretty special. There's something to be learned from all of these animals, aside from me being able to identify them. But yeah, also the correspondences and the associations that they have here, I think is quite interesting, and something that also aligns with how I see these archetypes. Yeah, so if you find this helpful, please click on the like button. I would really appreciate it. This has been the flip through of the Wild Mystic Oracle. And please consider subscribing to my channel. I post videos like this at least once a week, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!